All right, guys. So you can see, I just threw a whole bunch of wood in, but you can see why my syrup is smoke infused. Look at that smoke just billowing out. So if we go in, it's going, but it's smoky, but it's also, there's smoke, but this is also starting to, it's about to boil. So it's actually really hard. It's hard to actually stay in there, but that's why my syrup is has a smoky flavor. And if you look, like I just threw it all in there, and there's a bit of wet wood, like I haven't covered it, but we got some good coals in there, and it's gonna go wild soon. So we're just starting it more or less for the day. All right, so last night, I think it was like +2 or 3. So you can actually see, oh, sorry guys. This one's dripping. It's not dripping much, but it is still dripping. What happens, there we go. On the outside, it was raining a bit. That's why we got the covers on these things. So these ones are wet. Like it's gonna drip again. Oh, there we go. Boom. These ones, so the main reason why this tree is huge, it's a big maple. The reason why this tree is dripping still right now, because it has to be plus and minus. It's so big, the roots are so deep into the ground, so it's cold. So it still thinks it's cooler, even though like it's not dripping very well. And same with this tree. This tree here is really good. Now, these ones here, and I haven't checked. It is actually, well, yeah, you can actually see that is rainwater. But it is, I think it's going to drip. Yeah, it's still dripping. So, here we go. There, slowly, wabam. Slowly but surely. So I was actually a little surprised by that. And this one, yeah. Sometimes you gotta fix the buckets. But these smaller trees, so this one, yeah, and you see that one's wet too, and there's some sap in there. Some of the smaller trees might not drip so much because like the ground is still cold, like it's still hard, like so they might still run a bit today, but it is supposed to, and like that one's moist, so it's actually gonna drip in a second, but like let's just see. Yeah, and there's sap in there, so it's probably not going to run the greatest today, but who knows? I could be wrong. You never actually know. Notice, okay, so the clip ahead before, there was smoke just bellowing. So it's literally, I would say, 10 minutes. So I put a whole bunch of wood in there, and you can see the fire's actually going a lot better. It's going to start really boiling. So what I'm also going to do is, and I don't know if you noticed from before, if you've watched any of my other videos, I'm going to put this buffet pan in because it is a buffet top. So it actually, it's like perfect. I put this into there, and I put cold sap into there, which I'm going to get from over there. And I put it in there, it warms the syrup that I have in there, warms this up. And then once this gets warm enough, and this has boiled it down enough today, boiled down, boiled down enough, I'll pour it in. And it won't necessarily stop the boil because it's warmed up. So, yeah, it's just my way of like keeping it going. A lot of the guys with these big maple syrup shacks have copper piping with a copper wire, or maybe it's a copper wire in there, and the copper wire just heats all the sap going through the line. And so when it goes into the boiler, it doesn't slow anything down. It's basically hot. So, which is ingenious. But I don't have that. This is the Harvesting Hick way. But you know what? It's good enough for me. So, and I love my maple syrup. If I did it the other way, my maple syrup would not taste the way it is. It wouldn't have the smoky taste. So it's truly unique. And a lot of people like it. And actually, I can see right here, she's starting to boil. So, and it's just the fire's a little heavier there. It's usually a little stronger because there's air there coming through the holes. I put holes, and plus this helps the fire as well. So, all right, take a look at this. She is boiling amazingly. So it's basically at the point right there where, that's why there's always black there, because it like kind of burns a little bit. But you know, overall, it's going good. So if you look, well, probably back over here, it's not as hot, but see, it's getting to the point where sometimes, yeah, see the fire's going. So I'm gonna have to deal with this, but well, actually not that bad. I just don't want it rolling. So it just burns so much, but it's a nice, I should actually spread out the flame. That's what I'm going to do now. So I literally just took some of the sap out of here. I put the bucket underneath. So I put it in the bucket. So now I'm going to take this, the pan, we're going to put it in right here. And then I'm going to take this and put it in the pan. Okay, so I literally just put the pan in. So the pan itself's a little cooler because it hasn't been in the water. But as you can see, the boil still keeps on going. And it doesn't cool all the syrup. So the syrup at a certain point, once it like boils down and it's a higher sugar concentration, it actually doesn't, like, it boils a lot more. And I'll know it's like, let's say, ready, so to say, when it's just constantly, just always wanting to boil. It's kind of like making, when you make candy. It's the same kind of deal. But you can see, I just put it in and it's still boiling. It's not boiling as hard, so yes, it did cool down a smidge. But I don't have a perfect system here. And I'm quite all right with it. So you can see some of the wood has burnt. So I'm going to come over here, fill up the wheelbarrow, and get more wood. And stoke the fire a bit more.